I hope palm hybridization videos are interesting to the subscribers. Feel free to let me know down below. And I typically, in the history of my making videos on this channel, I've revolved around Syagrus breeding projects, hybridization projects. And so this is a good example here. And although this palm is a hybrid, I didn't do the hybridization. I got this in from either Toby or Jeff Marcus or somebody. And this is called Syagrus X Matafoam or Form. I've seen it written up two different ways. And so this is a cross by Syagrus vagans, some people will say, or vagans as I like to say. And then coronata, the pollen parent of this plant is coronata. So moving on to the next generation, this is a Syagrus X Matafoam by Romanza, which is the ubiquitous queen palm. And then this little clump of seeds right here is Syagrus X Matafoam times Syagrus amara. And I'll show you the parent plant so you can get an idea of the form, what it looks like. So, all right, I'll move on to another palm and we'll look at what's going on with that one. This is my Syagrus coronata, and it has been featured in a number of videos in hybridization and breeding projects. And so you can reference those if you're willing to go back through the nearly 1,100 video uploads that I have. Sorry about that wobbling, I was adjusting my hands. This is going to be Syagrus X Campos Portoana. So it is the coronata times the pollen parent, which was Romanza or a queen palm. This little batch of seeds right here is Syagrus, again, coronata times amara. So, and probably quite a bit less fruit set on this one. And here's an example of what happens when I don't pollinate by hand, when the tree's just catching any pollen that it can, usually from itself. This is kind of a dramatic, like not so successful example. This is an example of the tree having likely pollinated itself, or maybe a stray queen palm came in from the neighborhood on a bee or something. But that high rate of success, I'll back up a little bit. So I know this is mostly Romanza because there is about a 3 or 4 day disparity between what they call the anthesis of the male, which is the pollen. It all falls off. The females are still closed. And female receptivity, again, 4 days later, 5 days later typically. So I can hose off all the pollen, bag it, keep it clean, and then put the pollen that I want in a bag, and then bag it, and then pollinate it. So that's my technique, and that's usually gives me some assuredness or surety or whatever that is to know that I'm getting that genuine McCoy, genuine deal. And then I'll show you the amara pollen parent, the pollen parent for both the other two palms that were shown in this video with seeds. So that's amara right there. You can't really see a lot of it, and I'm sorry I'm filming into the sun, so maybe I'll do another shot from the street where it looks better. But while we're walking around and I'm on my tangent here, this is Alligoptera caudescens here, formerly Polyandrococcus, but I wanted to show that huge set of fruit. Now it turns out that about 5 months ago I crossed that Alligoptera caudescens by this Syagrus coronata. I'll show you the seeds of that, so I'll catch up to that in another shot, and I'll try to get you a street shot of that amara. Here's a little shot of that Syagrus amara. You can see how it presents itself, and this thing's been flowering and seeding quite well the last 7 or 8 months. I got a huge batch of seeds from it, so I'm looking forward to germinating some amara. And I guess if perhaps you can see right there some sort of nascent fruiting going on there. All right, so now I'll take you back to a couple of batches of seeds and other things real quick. So now in the nursery, I'll show you, sorry, I'm getting old and my back makes me do that when I bend over. All right, so that's Syagrus amara, probably about 4 weeks sitting in this tub. Just a community pot. We'll see what happens if we get anything that germinates. And before I go over to the next pot, I want to show you these guys. These were some, let me get these oxalis out of here and the weeds. These were some, okay, sorry for the crappy videography there. Now we're online. This is Alligoptera caudescens times Alligoptera arenaria. So you got a tall trunking specimen by an acaulescent or trunkless specimen, both with very different leaves. So these things are probably about 3 or 4 years old, and they move really, really slow because I think they're very confused because of the different, really distinct shapes and forms of the morphology of the plant. So last shot is this right here is the, Syagrus coronata times Alligoptera caudescens. So this is an intrageneric hybrid, or intrageneric. You guys can straighten me out on that. It's been sitting here as long as those regular Syagrus amara have, so maybe a few weeks. And I highly doubt that there'll be any germination, but we'll see. I've had, years ago I crossed Syagrus coronata into Alligoptera arenaria, got 2 seeds that sprouted. One lived for about 9 years and it put out 2 leaves, or 3 leaves in 9 years, and then it got killed in a hurricane, which was my fault. But yeah, I lived 9 years and grew about 5 inches, and so it was really tortured, really confused. And so I suspect that's what's going to happen with these, but I figured what the hell. The pollination took. So anyway, so there's the like hybridization breeding tangent for the late summer of 2022.